So let's take a look here at the last 3 chapters that you guys read. I just want to go over those questions. What did the kids see in the forest that reminded them of their own world? Now this is, towards the end, they're out horseback riding, and they've been living here for, in their minds, years. They're growing older. But what did they see that all of a sudden they had forgotten about their old world, and all of a sudden, snap it. Hey, boy, that reminds me of something. Katie? Yeah, whoa, there's this metal thing here they first said. Well, they begin to remember. Okay, the lamppost. Why weren't Susan and Lucy able to untie Aslan? Nothing very in depth here. Just Micah.
The witches, people tied it too tight.
Yeah, the knots were too tight. We've all had that, right? Where you tie a knot so tight, and to go get mom and dad and get some help, and even they sometimes might take them quite a while to get it loose, or pretty soon you have to cut it. Okay, you had to read 1 Peter 3, verse 18. Who took the punishment for Edmund? That first, who took the punishment for him? Jesse?
Edmund.
And how is that similar to what Jesus did for us, Jesse?
Jesus died on the cross to save us from our sins.
Correct. Okay? Picture here, obviously, that C.S. Lewis is trying to make. Okay, then you had to read Romans 6, verse 23. Write this verse in your own words. And why did someone else have to be punished for Edmund's betrayal? Why did somebody else have to be punished? Okay, somebody else had to, yeah, that's true. But somebody else had to die for him. I can't die for myself to pay for my own sins. Somebody else needed to, and it needed to be someone who was perfect. And obviously in the story here, Aslan is representing Christ here. Why do you think the children decided to tell the professor about Narnia? What was the reason they told him in the end, Courtney? That's true, but there's one other reason. Why do they feel they need to go tell the professor, Nicole?
So you would know that Lucy wasn't going to
True, but there's one other thing that they're looking for that they feel guilty about. Emma?
They left the coats in there.
Yeah, remember? Oh, we better go tell the professor. He's going to know that there's 4 coats missing. And they feel comfortable telling him. They don't feel odd because probably, like Nicole said, he knew some things with Lucy before. So anyways, they go to tell him and they say, yep, we lost the 4 coats. Now here's what's interesting. He knows about Narnia and he tells them, it might not be the last time, but don't ever go looking in the wardrobe again. You'll never get in that way. What does he mean by that? What do you think? I mean, if I just got back from a great adventure, what would you wake up and want to do the next day? What would you do, Garrett?
Go back.
Yeah, I go back to the wardrobe. But the professor says what? What will happen if they go looking in the wardrobe now? What did he say at the end there? Micah? You don't remember? Emma?
Nothing will happen.
Yeah, it won't happen. You will never get in that way again, because why are you going there? Garrett?
Because you're needed there?
Well, or you're trying to, no, why are you going to the wardrobe? Why would you go to the wardrobe the next morning?
Because you can get in that way?
But every time they got into Narnia, were they actually jumping in the wardrobe to go there on purpose? Any of the 3 times? Katie? No, the first time Lucy hid in there just to hide. The second time, Edmund and Lucy hid in there just, again, to hide. Not because they were purposely going in there. In fact, they didn't want to because she felt she would be mocked. And the third time, when all of them went in, again, none of them were thinking, hey, let's go jump in there, maybe it will bring us to Narnia. They were, again, trying to hide. So every time it's like having the faith, you're not even thinking that's what you're looking for, and lo and behold, that's where you end up. Okay? And so the professor does say, you will get back there, it's just, it will come when? When will they get back? What did the book say? Jesse? When you're not thinking about it and you least expect it, all of a sudden, a way will be made for you to be able to get into there. Okay? So maybe that's a picture Lewis is trying to make, that we can't earn our own salvation. It's only when God works in our hearts. I don't know that. So, some things that we can say, in the end. Let's start down here. Why do you think this book is such a timeless classic? People the world all over think they enjoy and give to their children. Hey, children, you should read C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia. So, why do you think? What makes a book a classic? And why is this book, even though it's old, it continues to be in your when you get those book orders, you can order books and things like that. We continue to see the Chronicles of Narnia in there. So what about this maybe makes it a good book, would you say? What makes something high quality? What does the author do a good job of? Katie?
How he words it.
Okay. Grant? Why is it a good book? What do you think? What does the author do well? Joe?
Symbolizes the Bible.
Okay, that's true, and that's why we as Christians and Christian schools really enjoy the Chronicles of Narnia, because there's that symbolism. But your next door neighbor down the street who doesn't care one iota about God, he's not even going to see that symbolism because his heart is hardened. But why might he like it? What's appealing, Micah?
It's an interesting story.
What's interesting about it? What pulled your interest? You're exactly right, but what pulled your interest? Everybody think of that. What held your interest? What made you want to read the next chapter? Micah.
The magical world of Narnia.
Okay, magical world. Some fun things are happening that can't happen in reality. Faith. Well, be thinking. I'm going to call on you. What did the author do a good job of? Nicole?
Suspense.
Yeah, some suspense. We got to the end of chapter 2. We wanted to know what was going to happen next. There was always something coming. Was Edmund going to be saved, or was he going to be a slave of the witch? Okay. Was Aslan going to... Well, when he died, what was going to happen next? We wanted to know. Because most books have happy endings, right? Not always, but most do. So we're looking, how is the author going to turn this all around here? Okay. Biblical symbolism. Obviously, that's the author's purpose here. Like Joe said, there's a lot of good biblical symbolism. And that's in a lot of C.S. Lewis's books. You can get, you can read a lot of his books. Okay, go to the library. Not here. We've got the whole set. How many books are in the Chronicles of Narnia? 7. This is actually book number 2. Okay, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is book number 2. So there's one that comes before that sets things up, and then there's 5 more that come after that follow Peter and Edmund and Lucy, and they each focus on some different things, so you can continue reading through the series. So obviously it's not a hard book to read or anything. So I would encourage you to do that. But C.S. Lewis likes to always do similar. He writes another set of letters called the Screw Tape Letters. And it says, though these letters are written from Satan, okay, that's the picture here, but sent from one person to another, from Satan, as if Satan was trying to teach an angel how to go around and tempt other people on earth. Obviously, the reason Mr. Lewis is writing that is to show us how easy it is for us to be tempted, and we need to be careful. So, and he wrote lots of books, Mere Christianity and others, and in all of them he's putting some pretty significant symbolism. But this is a very nice set of books that kids can enjoy. So he likes to use that biblical symbolism. So I encourage you, hopefully you'll read some of those other books too. Okay? You can end it there.